Hello everybody and welcome to the Adventures of Drawing. I'll draw a scene for you using a variety of pencils, a blending stump and an eraser. So without further ado, let's go right into this. Okay, let me sketch my horizon. I want some hills in the distance, maybe like this. And now I know where we're going to have to see the sky, and that's important for me since I want there to be some clouds in here. And I am attempting a different method for the clouds right now than I would normally do. For one, simply to try a different shape of clouds, and for another thing, I also want to try different shades for the clouds. So, okay, maybe like this, and this one maybe ends right here and goes over there like this. I don't know, maybe like that. Okay, now I need a value for the sky at first, because I want there to be a contrast between the brightest areas of the clouds and the sky. I want those highlights in the clouds to be brighter than the sky, so I'm giving the sky this dark range of a light value or very light value of a mid-range value, however you want to see it. It's a rather light value, but not extremely light. I'm using the HB pencil for this and a very flat area of the lead, so I can cover a lot of ground at once, and also so that I don't have lines in here. Okay, so now right here I want the sun to set in this scene, and I want it to be right here, so I've already drawn into this area where I want the sun to be. Okay, I want it to be completely clear, since the sun of course is very bright. So there's absolutely no value there. Also, the sky around the sun is brighter than further away from the sun, so I will make sure to only use very gentle touch right here and make this a very bright value right here. And I'm trying to maybe have a little bit of a transition to the areas further away from the sun, but right here maybe a little bit darker. Yeah, it's barely visible in the stream, but you can just about make out the outline of the sun right there. And you see those darker areas of the sky right there. So now the sun in this scene illuminates the clouds from below. So in this case, we're going to have bright lower areas of the clouds, and the upper areas are going to be dark, and they're going to be darker than the sky. So I'm going in here with the almost darkest possible value I can produce with the HB pencil. And I'm creating volumes by going down in sort of zigzag lines, similar to what I do on the ground to portray elevations. And I'm leaving the lowest areas of clouds completely bright. Also, this tip right here, I feel like the upper area is illuminated by the sun as well. If I follow the sun rays, they also touch the upper area of this particular cloud right here, so maybe there's a little bit of a darker lower area, and the upper area is completely light for that particular area of the cloud right there. Okay, now we've got an upper area right here, like this, and this all is a lower area, and right here we've got maybe a mid area. So I'll just put in some volumes right here by giving those lines in there. Okay, that is the sky done. Now I'll go into the ground right here, and I want some more layers in here like this, and another one maybe right here, and I want it to have a different outline. Those are supposed to be the tops of evergreens. Doesn't really look like that, but yeah, maybe it lightly resembles some evergreens. Okay, then we're going to have something right here, and I realize that I'm rather low on my composition already. I wanted there to be a little more space down there, but that's fine. What I've got here is going to do. Okay, down here I'm just indicating reflection of this outline up here. Okay, now we're going into the distance right here. This is a completely featureless silhouette of some hills in the distance. They are darker than the sky. But they have the same value everywhere. That's what I'm going to do right here. Just fill all this area in, trying to make it as even as possible. I'm a little darker in some areas than I am in others, but that's not too much of a problem. Like right here, it's a little darker than almost anywhere in this layer, but I won't bother with that too much. You mostly take the most amount of effort to iron out the least amount of details. And I don't want to be caught up on those details. I just want to get the drawing done. Just going with the theme of this series, just letting loose and being productive, not overthinking, not getting caught up on details. I touched on that before, but in this occasion, I used the opportunity to iterate on this mental state or idea for this series of just letting loose and creating something. Okay, I switched to the 3B pencil since this area down here is darker than the one behind it. We're going to get darker and darker as we get closer to ourselves, to the observer. And I am going to draw across the silhouette that I prepared right here. I don't have to completely follow it. I could, but that would be a lot of effort. I can, since I am going into that area later with an even darker value, I'm going to cover up everything of this level that I'm drawing right now, and therefore that's completely okay if I draw over this right now. Okay, let's try and get everything to about the same value. I feel like right below the edge I made this layer a little bit darker than further down. So let's get this further down area right here a little darker. Okay, I think that does it quite neatly. I think I'm going to continue with the 3B pencil. I want to preserve the 8B for only the foreground so that I can have an enhanced contrast between the midground or background and the foreground. Okay, so now I'm once again sketching a zigzag line right here. This is supposed to resemble the tops of the evergreens that stand right here. And now I have to follow this outline, of course. Maybe let me get in here already. Okay, it's going to be rather difficult to make this area right here darker than the middle one with the 3B pencil. Maybe I'll have to use the 8B pencil later for this. but for now we're going to see if this works. Okay, this is going to be quite a lot of work right here. Not too much. I've burdened myself with more before, but yeah. Quite a lot of treetops to fill in here. Now, the danger of this is that what I'm drawing right now is going to be much darker than the rest of this layer, but I hope I'll be able to get the rest of this layer right here to the same value as what I'm drawing right now. Okay. Doesn't completely look like evergreens, but I think once all this comes together, once it is recognizable as a landscape, the brain will fill those shapes in and translate them as evergreens. Okay. Almost there. There we go. Now let's go across all of this area like this. Fill in all the gaps down here. Get this down here as dark as possible. And it is darker than the layer behind it. That's good. Maybe I should go up and down like this to make the largest part of this area as dark as the treetops. That's getting the job done quite nicely, I think. Okay. Not too shabby, I must say. Normally, if I try this, the difference is way larger between the finicky outline and the rest of the area on my piece of paper. But right here, I did quite a better job than normally. Okay, just trying to adjust the very lower edge of this area. a little bit of a brighter area down here. And there we go. I think that's it. Maybe let me go through here once more. Okay. I am quite satisfied with that. So, the next step is to get the water going down here. We've got a body of water right there, and the reflection of the sunlight is going to be exactly below the sun right here. Going in with horizontal lines and right there. Those lines split apart so that this area is completely bright, just like the reflection of the sunlight. I have got to get rid of this outline of the reflection of the trees right here. It's not going to be seen in the reflection. Okay. Maybe the reflection ends right here. Like so. Okay, let's get the rest of this area done as well. Just a light gray value. Okay. I'll just complete this down here to the lower edge of the scene. There's going to be some foreground here, but I'll make it like this so that the water and the foreground definitely will overlap. Okay, let's go in and get some darker areas in this surface of the water. Maybe a little bit over here as well. Not too much to the left side right here. There's not too much space anyway, but just a little bit of a darker area, maybe like this right here. Okay, I'm not sure if I should put in the waves right now or go into the reflection, but I think it doesn't make a difference. I'll just go in here now. I won't completely copy this zigzag pattern that I have got up there. I'm just making any old pattern that resembles the same character. maybe like this. Okay, and now I'll make the area above this outline a little bit darker, but I won't go completely up to the water line. I just want the upper area of the reflection to show. Going into reflection of the sunlight here. So there's an interruption, and I continue right here. All the way across. Fill this all in. Just a little bit of patience. Okay, let's blend this a little bit more. Just going across very gently once more. To blend in a couple of those lines that poke out. Maybe go across like this. To get a transition from the reflection to the value of the water. Okay, like so, and right here as well. I think that does it quite nicely. Okay, now let's go in and draw a couple of waves. Maybe, yeah, why not? Right here. Just next to the reflection. With the very tip of the pencil lead. And we've got some waves going in right there. Disturbing that reflection. Okay. Maybe Maybe some waves over here. Going outside of the scene. Continuing it where we don't see it. Like so. And then let's have another set of waves right here on the other side. And maybe a couple in between here. And then another set right here. Maybe like so. Okay, now for the foreground. Something right here. And something else right there. Let's get rid of this value of the water right here. And over here as well. All right, let's get rid of that residue. Okay. Now I want this to be the, I don't know if you could call it beach, but I want this to be the water line to this body of water. Like this. And then this hill, this elevation covers the beach on the right side. So we don't see it right there. Okay, so I want rather bright values right here, and then maybe a couple of rocks in here. Sunlight is coming from the other side, so we see the side that is in the shadow down here. Just the upper area is a little brighter. Like so. And maybe here's one that overlaps with the water. Like this. Let's get rid of that water line. And make this rock quite dark, like so. Okay, I could, or maybe I should use the 8B pencil for that, as I wanted to get the foreground as dark as possible. well, not the entire foreground, but the dark areas of the foreground should be as dark as possible. Okay, oh, you could barely see that there. Now you see it. Okay, now let's go in here. Have a tiny bit of value down here, and let's have it get lighter towards the edge. Let's have some structure of the ground. Some things going on there. And down here it's darker, so those details are a little darker as well. Okay, now for the last bit of this scene, I want there to be some trees. Don't know how many, maybe it's just going to be one, but something. Now I need I don't know, at least two right here. Let me start this off with the 8B pencil right away though, like this. And this one as well. To have something poke into the sky, overlapping with the sky, giving this scene a nice bit of depth. Okay. Couple of branches now. Don't know where to start those. Maybe right here, right there. This one like this, one looping around and one going out like that. Let's have some come in from the side. Maybe there's a third tree standing outside of the frame like this. And let's have another tree poke its branches in on that side like this. Okay, now let's go in with some foliage right here. Like so. And on those trees as well. Want that to be darker than the background. Since, as we know, the saturation of the foreground is much higher than in the background. Like that, we can portray this nice atmospherical depth that we've got going on in our layers of the background. That sets those layers apart. And we want that to continue into the foreground, to set the foreground apart from the midground and the background. Enhance our contrast and saturation bit by bit. Okay. I don't want to cover too much of this bit of the background down there. Want that to poke through there, because I do find it quite nice. Okay. I didn't do too good of a job on the three-dimensionality of the foliage this time. And also, it does look quite I don't know. Doesn't look like those trees are full of leaves. Maybe I just have to fill in a little bit more. Those gaps right here. Maybe like that. That's a little bit better. Okay. All right. But there we go. There we've got our scene for today. So let's clean up the edges. Okay, down here. Like this. All right. Very carefully wiping off that residue, since that 8B graphite gets smudged very easily. Okay, there you go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you got something out of it. The motivation or inspiration to be creative yourself, or you're getting some work done, or just relaxing while you watch. Anything's fine by me. If you find yourself coming back to the channel, please consider subscribing, giving the video a like, and dropping down into the comment section to tell me what you think about what I'm doing here. With all this said, thanks again for dropping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.